Imagine a world where eating healthy isn't a chore, but a celebration. A world where plant-based meals were not only packed with flavor, but simple.
But we have tons of recipes that are no chop, just add cans and frozen items straight to the pot.
Welcome to the world of Well Your World, a YouTube channel dedicated to making whole food and plant-based eating easy and accessible for everyone. This channel is led by Dylan and Reeves, and their dynamic duo has created a space where oil-free, delicious meals come to life with every recipe. And today, we're gonna take some of those recipes for a spin and see what our family thinks. Greetings and welcome to or welcome back to PB with Jay. Here on the channel, we focus on all things plant-based goodness, and lately we've been doing another little side series where we explore some other plant-based or vegan YouTube channels to see what our family thinks of their recipes. Ever since we started doing this, we have been overwhelmed by all of you asking us to do Well Your World. So we're finally tackling that.
10-minute meals, 10-minute meals, 10-minute meals.
What's especially awesome about Dylan and Reeves is that all of their food is already whole food plant-based. So in theory, outside of perhaps making things gluten-free, I don't think I'm gonna have to do any swaps. So how this works is I'm going to pick 3 recipes from their YouTube channel, and then I'm going to recreate them as close to how they did them as possible. And then I'm gonna see how my family reacts. Before we jump into that, I'd love to give a quick hello to some of you who have said hello to us in the comments down below. Anne from Rockingham, Vermont, Nova from Manitoba, Jima from Eagle Point, Oregon, Don from Matthews, Virginia, the smallest county in Virginia, Terry from Australia, Carol Ann from the Blue Ridge Mountains of Linden, Virginia, Almondina from Perth, Australia, Jenny from Bloomington, Indiana, Joanne from Boone, North Carolina, Sharon from East Tennessee, Nikki in the Sunshine Coast of Australia, Karen from Nanaimo, BC, Lori from Massachusetts, and Carol from Snug, Tasmania in Australia, a beachside community on the southeast coast of their island state. Their primary school has over an acre of kitchen garden and orchard. That's really frickin' cool. If you'd like a shout out here on the channel, all you have to do is say hello to us in the comments down below. Let us know who you are, where you're watching from, and tell us something about where you live, because I love adding those little tidbits to these shout outs. Obviously, if you want to bump up on that shoutout list, consider joining us over in the Mighty Network for that perk, along with many, many others, all for the price of a crappy cup of coffee a month. All right, let's get to the recipes. So I got some suggestions. Let's just click right into their website. What I always like to do is I like to go to popular, and I always want to check out their most popular recipe. They've got a cheese sauce, so do we. Healthy chickpea wrap in 5 minutes. Ooh, let's benchmark that one.
Y'all get excited. We are back with another 10-minute meal. This one is a simple, tasty wrap. We're making a chickpea avocado spread with just a couple of simple ingredients on this one. You're gonna love it. Here we go. That's a wrap. To use my product, you can use any spice blend that you like in here, but we're using the chili lime today. We have a whole lineup of different SOS-free seasonings, no added salt, oil, or sugar. I also love our Stardust salt substitute because it gives it a little bit of a salty flavor without the added salt. So get hold of these today if you can. You're gonna love this. Chili lime is like one of our most popular things right now.
Are they gonna make me buy their seasonings to be able to make this stuff? That's an issue, I think. I mean, it's not an issue. Good for them. That's smart. You can only make our recipes if you buy our seasonings. Hopefully do they give the recipes down here below? Oh, they do. Chickpeas, avocado, jalapeno, green onions. But then he was just putting seasoning all over it when he made it. That's confusing. All right, I have to do a deeper dive into this recipe, but this is a definite contender. What about these oat clusters?
I wanted to make for you today a revamped oat cluster video, not because the recipe has changed, it hasn't, but because the process I use has changed a little bit. I've made it a lot easier, and so I wanted to share that with you.
Okay, so this is good. And now, you know what I'm gonna do? I could spend like probably all day going through their library. They've got almost 400 videos on here. But I'm gonna go to some of the recommendations that you all made. What were some of them? Someone said, well, Well, someone said their Starch Blaster is a must-have, and someone else said it was awful, which makes me so curious.
Hungry but don't want to cook? Sick and tired of all that chopping? Do you have an appetite but you don't want to cook it tight? Well, I have a solution for you. Starch Blaster! Starch Blaster! Starch Blaster! I make Starch Blaster very often because I don't like to think ahead of my food. Step one is to pick your starches. You want to pick, I'm using a 4-quart off-brand Instant Pot. I know they have a 3 and a 6. You can vary.
So it looks like you make your own Starch Blaster. Download our Starch Blaster formula. Okay, I see. I gotta fill out a PDF. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I don't know. I'll have to check in on that. All right, we've got our recipes. Let's get cooking. So the first thing I want to make is a little snack that we can have in our lunches or just whenever we need it. And these are the Oat Cluster recipes. And I think I'm just automatically gonna make a double batch because how many does it say it makes? It does not say how many it makes. Hate that. I hate it when things don't say how many it makes. Anyway, I'm gonna make a double batch. So how do we make these? We are gonna preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. In a small bowl, we are gonna combine the flaxseed and water. So we're basically making flax eggs. Then we're gonna place we're gonna put our rolled oats in a medium bowl and set aside. Then inside the food processor, we're gonna add the banana, the dates, the cinnamon, and the vanilla and blend until smooth. This is where if you're using nuts, you can add the nuts, but I'm gonna make these school safe so Willie can take them to school. So I'm going to put in pumpkin seeds instead. Now we're gonna add in the flax to the banana mixture, mix into the oats. It says now if you want to add fruit or coconut flakes, you can do so. I might put in some raisins. That could be fun. I know Willie would want me to put chocolate chips in. We're trying to make these healthier. I forgot to press play when I put all this in. So all I did was pour it in and now I'm stirring it. It's not that exciting, but I did miss that, sorry. I'm officially annoyed at this recipe now. So here's the thing, depending on the size of your banana, you're gonna need potentially double the amount of oats. I don't even know how much I put in, I just got done adding more oats because it just did not come together. And even in the end, I just got frustrated with continually adding more. I watched his video. His looked very different from mine and I didn't change a damn thing. So I don't know, they kind of mold together, but I don't like it. I don't like the way they mold together. They don't really stick. They're very falling apart on the pan. So I don't know what I did wrong. Hopefully they bake okay. I don't have super high hopes for this right now. I'm sure they're gonna taste great. They were way more of a pain to make than they should have been.
That's good, but it kind of just tastes like granola in a ball with banana. How is it breakfast? You could eat this with breakfast with milk poured on it or yogurt.
Where with a smoothie?
This to me is not really a dessert, more breakfast. But it's good.
What do you give it?
Give it like a B. As a dessert, it's a B.
Can I have a bite?
As a breakfast, it's like a B plus. Right?
Hey mom. It's a solid crunchy B.
Yeah.
I like this granola.
Manny?
That's a little more crunchier.
A C. I'm not a big fan.
All right. I don't like them.
Yeah.
They're fine. It feels like a granola bar. They don't taste bad. I just would never make these again. Yeah, it's fine. It's like a B.
Yeah.
I was like, I know what I'm gonna take later.
Okay, where's my dessert?
I'll happily finish these. I'd never make them again. And now I still want dessert. Just jumping in here real quick, just to remind all of you that our new cookbook is out for sale. It's an ebook, But if you do want a physical copy, you can email me to get on the list for that. But the link for the ebook is right here on the screen, so check it out there. All right, back to the recipes. So tonight for dinner, I'm gonna make these smashed chickpea avocado dip wraps. That sounds like a lot going on, and that's confusing. Anyway, it looks really, really easy. He says you make them in less than 10 minutes. So how you make this is you add the chickpeas to a bowl and you mash them up until they're like a coarse, chunky texture. And then you add the avocado, you continue mashing, and then you add in the rest of the ingredients until it's all nicely combined. And then you scoop that into a wrap or onto a sandwich, whatever you want to make. I've got these gluten-free wraps for Wooly, and I'm gonna try these too because we're out of other wraps. And we've got kids over, and he has a friend over, so you might get a bonus review. And for toppings, it just says to add whatever you want. This is what I got the broccoli sprouts for, so I'm gonna put those on top. And then whatever else we can think of. And then we're gonna smash it into our faces.
Is that right?
It's all right. Sorry, I'm just getting Mummy's thoughts. I put way too much in mine.
Oh my
This is
gosh,
a decent
I'm
wrap
actually
though, in
such
terms
a
of like it
what did
stays
you
together.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know they cook salt free, but it could use, it needs a little
I
seasoning.
put a little bit in.
It needs some spice, a flavor. I want some hot sauce in here.
I need mustard.
We added mustard. You can add mustard. It's like a beef for me.
Yeah, it's good, but
Well, we
we
have a-
have a chickpea salad.
That we like. That it has more oomph than this, but it's okay.
It's
Ow.
yummy. It tastes like the chickpea salad sandwich
Yeah.
with no mustard. But then you have to add your own mustard. And look, it's my pickle.
Mm.
I didn't cut it up, I just put it in a hole. The pickle has a cherry on top.
Ooh.
I give it an A.
Okay.
What do you give it? An A.
It's not as good as ours.
No. What's missing for you?
I don't know. Like spices.
Yeah.
It's bland.
What do you get?
C plus.
Annie just asked what's for dinner, and the answer is we're having something called Starch Blaster.
Starch Blaster.
Starch Blaster! So, Starch Blaster is a formula that Well Your World uses to just make random meals. So, it's kind of a choose your own adventure and good luck with it all type of meal. So, what I'm going to do, I took all of their different categories. I'll post a little infographic here. You can also get this by emailing them, and then they'll email it to you. So I'm going to use half a cup of dry pasta, half a cup of dry quinoa, half a cup of rinsed lentils, but not cooked, half a cup of soy curls, 1 onion diced, a pepper diced. It says fresh greens, which I'm going to throw in at the end. I have some kale and some spinach, I believe. I'll put that in after. A vegetable of choice. We have a bunch of carrots and a bunch of broccoli. I think I'm going to put both in. And then a tablespoon of granulated garlic or a teaspoon of garlic powder, quarter cup of nutritional yeast, and 3 tablespoons of seasonings of your choice. I've also got a bunch of fresh herbs from our Click and Grow, so I might throw a bunch of that in. We have like some marjoram, some dwarf basil. I might just throw a whole bunch of that stuff in. And then maybe a tablespoon or 2 of like Mrs. Dash no salt seasoning. And then it says veggie broth. It doesn't say how much. So I'm going to put just enough to cover it in here. I'm not sure how much is this going to thicken up. It says that this is going to turn into a giant pile of mush, and that's okay. I have no idea what this is going to be like, what the texture is going to be like. It's going to be like a soup. This could go south very fast. But I like the concept of it, of like a dump and walk away kind of meal. Let's see. And then they recommend other things on top like olives, pine nuts. We'll see. They say to cook it in the Instant Pot for 18 minutes and then do a quick release. That seems really long. But I'm going to listen to them because that's my job. And then once this is all cooked, I'm going to throw the greens on top just long enough for them to soften inside of the rest of the mixture. So it looks like mush. I want to see how it tastes. We'll get in on this. Well, don't just take the pasta.
Too hot.
It's spicy?
Yeah. A lot of pepper in it or something?
No. The Mrs. Dash seasoning might have made it spicy though.
God, how much did you use?
8 tablespoons?
Too much.
No, I used 2 tablespoons. I think it has lemon pepper, Mrs. Dash. I think it could use a little salt. Or people could salt their own. Oh, I think that's the basil. That's that peppery.
Can we not have any more mushy dinners?
You don't want any more mushy
I
dinners?
don't like this kind of dinner.
All right, tell you what. You get to pick all the recipes of that next cookbook.
Yes! Stir fry, stir fry, stir fry.
I hope there's no stir fries in the book.
Tofu.
It's the basil is very strong in here. Let's see what the kids think. Let's see. Let's give it a second to cool. I'm gonna add a little salt. Maybe a little. I'm gonna put some. I have some fresh lemon. I'm gonna put some fresh lemon in. That'll help brighten it up a little bit. It's not bad. We'll see. I mean, this is fine. I'll eat this if no one else does. I'm gonna think about my final rating though.
Like there's something really peppery.
It's the basil.
How is that basil?
It's dwarf basil.
Why is it pepper? Why does it taste like pepper?
Well, basil's kind of, I don't know. I've never really had dwarf basil before. We had it with our cooking bro.
It's not as bad as it seems, but it's so spicy for my tongue.
The lime or the lemon helped, and the olives make a big difference too. Actually, it kind of rounds out the flavor. This isn't bad.
No, it's not bad.
If I made the
But I
spice,
would never ask you to make this. And I'd be like, hey, remember that gloop you made?
I don't mind this.
You like, this is your kind of meal. You love gloop.
I like gruel. Give me a big bowl of gruel, and I'm a happy man.
Oh my God.
I mean, the thing is, it's hard to really rate this recipe because you pick your own ingredients.
You
I
did
made it-
this to me.
So this isn't awful. Like, what would you give this? Is it an F? You're still eating it.
I'm eating because I'm an adult and I have to eat my food.
So is it an F though? If you were Annie, it would be an F?
Oh, if I was Annie, it would be enough.
Okay.
But for me, I like a C, I guess.
Yeah, this is a C.
Like an F for me is inedible. Like I couldn't
This is like a C+. This isn't like, there's something, if I change the pepperiness of this,
so peppery.
it's very peppery. It's my fault. But I didn't even need pepper in. It's just from
That's crazy.
this either the no salt seasoning, Mrs. Dash, or the basil, the dwarf basil maybe.
Woo! Okay.
I don't want salad.
It's not salad. You don't have salad. You have a big bowl of.
Mush.
I got really excited when I walked in the door. And now I'm not excited.
Did you put some olives in? Olives helps.
Why is it so peppery?
Yeah, it's the spice blend I put in.
Ah,
But the texture's not bad.
what? What texture? It's just mush.
Why is there so much pepper?
I used Mrs. Dash spice blend, and I put dwarf basil in, which I think is peppery.
We'll try it.
Yeah,
Did you not like eat it? Did you like?
I ate it. I don't. It's got a nice little. It's got a kick. Thoughts on this? Is it your favorite meal?
I don't know if I
No,
want to finish it or not.
I don't want to finish
Depends what
it.
you're making for dinner. I'm a adult. It's an F, and I'll still eat it.
Oh, okay. Annie, what is it for you?
An F?
Okay.
You're not an adult. You're 15.
Since I'm not an adult.
The law. Thanks for joining us as my family dove into the recipes of Well Your World. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button to let YouTube know to share this with other people. Obviously, subscribe if you haven't done so yet. And let us know in the comments down below what other YouTube channels you would like us to do a deep dive into at some point in the future. We've got a list, but it's nice to know if people double down on that list and whatnot. And if you're still sticking around, YouTube wants you to watch this video next. Maybe it's the review we did doing Gaz Oxley's recipes. Maybe it's ones we did, I don't know. I'm just thinking now. Anyway, just click on the link.